Have you ever had a problem with the toilet not flushing? There can be a whole bunch of reasons why. In my case, I know what the reason is, and it has something to do with the flush handle lever. And I'm going to show you what the problem is, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to replace it. So here's the problem. When I push down, you can see it's not really now. It took a really long time and I had to hold it, and I was pressing really hard. Now let's see why. Now as we look inside the tank, here's what happens. You can see that right now it's filling up. It'll come up to about this level right there. You can see there's a little bit of rust from the watermark. And when I push down on the handle over here, it pulls up and it releases that plunger. But you can also see that this is not directly above. It should be pulling from directly above, so it's pulling at an angle. And that's what the problem is. Rather than pulling straight up, it pulls at an angle, so it takes lots and lots of pressure. Now, here's the other problem. Every time I do that, this starts to work loose. And I have to continually push that back into place if I want to get this to work. So I think the answer is really simple. Instead of pulling to the side, I want to pull that chain straight up. So I needed to get a longer lever. It's cost me about $6 at the hardware store. It comes with a handle, and I hope that will solve the problem. So first I'm going to turn off the water. It'll just be a little easier to work on this if the tank is empty. And I will get all of that water out, at least as much as I can. And then I'm going to take this apart. It'll take two hands to do it, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove that cotter pin, and then I'm going to pull that pin out. I know it has a name, I don't know what the name is right now, and that will unhook the chain. Okay, the cotter pin is out. So we just remove that chain, and I'm going to remove that pin. Just so I don't lose it in the tank, I'll set that aside. Now I'm going to take that handle off by loosening this nut. I'm just going to take a wrench and we'll loosen that up just a little. And then I can do the rest by hand. And it is a little tricky doing this with just one hand, but it's that easy, and we just removed the old assembly. I still have to grab that nut down there. We don't want to leave that in there, do we? Now to put the new one in, simply go right through there. And now I'll have to put another nut on this end. And we tighten that up. Now that does have a reverse thread. I don't know why, but when I tried to loosen it, I figured it out right away. This isn't getting loose, it's getting tight. So be careful, because you don't want to break that porcelain. Now you can see the lever arm is not over far enough. It has to be directly above. So I'm going to bend that a little bit. It is a pliable metal, but I'm going to need both hands, so I'll have to put the camera down for a moment. Okay, that ought to do it. You can see it's directly above. And the second hole right here should line up perfectly. This hole right there. So now all I need to do is reverse all the actions. And once again, a little tricky to do with one hand. One hand holding the camera. There, we got it. Now we lost it. When you do this, just put the camera down and use two hands. It's a whole lot easier. And now we'll turn the water back on. And as it fills up, let's just give it a try. Oh, that is so much easier. Look at that. Easy peasy. So that's all it takes. These jobs are so easy, don't be afraid of them. It cost about $6. It took about 6 minutes. And now I have a perfectly fine working toilet that was driving me nuts for probably 6 months. So don't be afraid of these simple household jobs. I hope that you got something out of this. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark with the Average Me channel.